Hi, this is Bill Barnett from C9 Hotel Works and Delivering Asia Communications, and we're here together for another episode of Thai Road Trip. We're with Patrick Keane from Interprojects in Phuket. I'm passing the brick on to Patrick, and Patrick's a designer who's really focusing on building materials here from southern Thailand. Patrick, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, these materials are basically from our backyard. They're from the clay pits, the brick pits. They fire the bricks themselves. They mix the clay. There's small brick pits all over southern Thailand, and with the recent restrictions and lockdowns, we've really had to jump into our backyard with 3 new projects we have in development. And it's been a fascinating ride of what resources are available. Brick is the oldest material ever used to man. It's 5,000 plus years old. And there's a real design resurgence with sustainability, with noble materials, with working with local arts and crafts. So it's been a fascinating journey, Bill, despite all of the turmoil around the globe right now.
So Patrick, using sustainable materials, how often do you take the environmental conditions, in terms of the heat, in terms of certainly here in the tropics as well, trying to create ventilation? How best to use these materials for modern building?
Fantastic material, Bill. Brick has thermal mass. Because it's actually built out of the ground, its materials out of the ground, it's incredibly climate responsive. It's very cost effective. There's all different sizes and styles. This is probably the Rolls-Royce brick. It's a solid brick, but we make it with, we combine it with breeze blocks. Sometimes we fill those in, and they come in different colors. So there's a ventilated brick. It's all sustainable. It's a natural product, and the great thing, it wears in over time. When it starts to age a bit, it really builds up a beautiful patina.
Hi Patrick, during the pandemic it's been interesting. You had a lot of people developing their own kind of dream houses and kind of their own ideas here. How are you dealing with clients' needs in terms of using more local materials?
It's a great point. I mean, it's especially with bricks, with these beautiful glass bricks, they're highly customizable. They provide beautiful patinas, light shadows. It's got such flexibility, and it really responds to the site, the climate, the orientation of the house, sunrises, sunsets. So yeah, there's just been a plethora of inquiry with working with local materials. And this really starts to fit the bill, especially.
I mean, one of the biggest ideas about sustainable materials also is these are being shipped locally. These aren't coming from another country. They're not using a lot of energy in terms of transportation, everything else. So it's a noble thing trying to use these type of materials as well.
Definitely, it's very carbon neutral. And we've got a project in the south of Thailand in development right now. All of the materials are coming within a 5-kilometer radius.
So Patrick, talking about 3D printing, we're here at your 3D printer as well. Big buzz on that. Can I use a 3D printer for a new home?
Absolutely. We use it, like the Pink Floyd song said, another brick in the wall. It's just one brick at a time. This is a prototype of a house. And right now in development, we have another project. You can see the printer's actually working. The next step with this is to actually have a physical printer on the site. So that's also a process in development. It's about customization, it's about creativity, it's about streamlining a process, and most of all, about being sustainable and efficient.
And from a cost perspective, how would that stack up against traditional building methods?
Well, it's about spending money on things that you see. Foundations, footings, they're all expensive things that are required of a house, but you don't actually see them. So that cost is reduced, but it's actually potentially put into other parts to embellish the house, to make it a bit more customizable.
So another brick in the wall. Patrick Keane, thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for joining us. And this has been a really intriguing session with Patrick Keane from Interprojects, trying to know how we're using southern Thai materials in building. It's certainly something we're going to be doing more in the future, talking about creative innovators and trying to see what's out there as well. Thank you for joining this session, and please join us again at Thai Road Trip from C9 Hotel Works and Delivering Asia Communications. Until next time, rock on.